Howard gets it in, but it's knocked away by Lexi Hall. Hall with the steal. And the Indiana Fever, beset by major injuries all year long, are on the doorstep of making the semifinals.
This wasn't just another playoff game. It was a gut-check challenge. Win or go home. 6 players down. A team still burning from officiating controversies. Zero margin for error. Could the Indiana Fever take all that pressure and turn it into fuel? In Game 3 of the WNBA playoffs against the Atlanta Dream, they answered that question. With Kelsey Mitchell attacking late, Aaliyah Boston battling in the paint, and Lexi Hull delivering the play of her life, the Fever punched their ticket to the semifinals for the first time since 2015. So now the real question is, was this a one-time spark, or the moment that cements Indiana's rise for years to come?
We've just been through so much this season, giving ourselves another chance in Game 3. Emotions are high.
This is a group that's confidence has really never wavered. This group has continued to show their heart, their character, night in and night out.
I think we all piggyback off each other within our group and our organization.
We've been in every kind of situation you can imagine, and we've been able to find ways to put ourselves in position to win, and this will be no different.
Somebody has to lose and somebody has to win.
Nearly 10 years without a playoff series win. That's not just a line on a stat sheet, it's a weight on a franchise, its fans, and every player who wears the jersey. The last time Indiana advanced this far, Tamika Catchings was still the heartbeat of the team. Natasha Howard was just breaking into the league. Stephanie White was in her first stint as head coach. That was 2015. The WNBA looked entirely different back then. Fast forward to now, and the Fever walked into Game 3 carrying more than just basketball pressure. History itself was daring them to respond.
Talked about the desperation before Game 2 on Tuesday. Just how does that carry over into tonight?
Well, I think anytime that you're a win or go home situation, there's desperation. And so it has to carry over. You know, we're in the same situation. Our back is against the wall. We got to come out and we've got to play with that sense of urgency. We've got to play with that hunger. We've got to value every single possession and every single opportunity.
Caitlin Clark? Out. Sophie Cunningham? Out. Sydney Colson, Chloe BBY, Ari McDonald, Dyrus Dantas all unavailable. That's a massive chunk of scoring and veteran presence stripped away. Suddenly, this wasn't just another playoff game, it was win or go home with a patchwork rotation. From the outside, expectations were gone. And oddly enough, that void became their advantage. They had nothing to lose. And after the frustrations of Game 1, a parade of questionable whistles, momentum-killing calls, even a technical on their coach, Indiana wasn't just fighting for survival. They were fighting for respect.
This one on Lexi Hall got me riled up because this was early on in the game, and this was probably the best defense that Lexi could have played. If you watch this play here, Ryan Howard is going down, Lexi Hall's guarding her, Ryan goes behind her back, Lexi doesn't touch her because she's backpedaling the whole time, she has her hands straight up. Like, this is really good defense that Lexi played here.
Game 1 was chaos, phantom whistles, momentum cut short, even a technical on their coach. The frustration was visible everywhere, spilling off the court and through TV screens. Indiana didn't let it fade. They carried that anger forward, turning it into fuel for redemption in Game 3.
Indiana Fever are heading to the semifinals.
Driving to the foul line and the paint, lays it in. Sims crossover left to right, gets into the paint, layup, good.
Inside, Boston.
Before tip-off, the tone was already set. Kelsey Mitchell carried a calm intensity, knowing the scoring load was hers. Aaliyah Boston, soft-spoken but steady, radiated confidence for the battle inside. Atlanta had health, home court, and momentum, everything Indiana lacked. But the Fever weren't just facing the dream. They were carrying the scars of 6 injuries, a decade of frustration, and constant doubt. Under that weight, they made a choice: fight, not fold. The question lingered, could individual sparks rewrite years of waiting into a new beginning?
To Jones, throws it up.
No good! Game over! And the Fever are moving on!
Game 3 pushed Indiana to the brink. Down late, nearly 4,000 Atlanta fans roared, each possession carrying the weight of their season. Injuries, doubts, and frustration funneled into those closing minutes. But the Fever refused to fold, leaning on their core. They answered the pressure with fearless resolve.
Just picked up her second foul, so Hillman and Gray each with 2. Mitchell over the Boston screen.
And that was tough, her hands. But going back to that ball screen here, little movement in the first part of that screen by Aaliyah Boston.
Mitchell, man,
she is so...
Kelsey Mitchell was Indiana's heartbeat. Atlanta crowded her, collapsing the paint and throwing extra defenders at every touch. Still, she delivered 24 points, 19 before halftime, to keep the Fever alive on the road. When lanes closed, she found other ways to contribute with assists and hustle. Against relentless pressure, Mitchell never faded. She kept attacking, setting the tone, and her persistence gave teammates the belief to keep fighting beside her.
Attacking from the outside and now the inside. And Mitchell's been quiet for a while. Not anymore. Mitchell over to Boston. Again, the shot clock winding down. Mitchell, tough shot off the bounce to get around Jones.
2 steps behind the 3-point line and the dribble handoff for Kelsey.
Aaliyah Boston battled inside, unfazed by constant contact. Against Jones' size, she relied on positioning, timing, and smarts, winning space early, staying composed, and steadily controlling the paint.
This is just 4 of 16 from the floor in game 2. That's terrific. Paul into Boston.
Boston's 14 points, 12 boards, and 6 assists only hint at her impact. Every rebound came in heavy traffic, every pass created opportunity. More than numbers, she displayed rare composure anchoring the paint, steadying an undersized lineup, and proving her presence could carry Indiana through the fight.
Atlanta has not been good. 40%. Maybe a little higher than that, 45.
Indiana electing not to call a timeout. Boston almost gave it away. Into Boston for the lead. She hits it. Indiana goes up.
Boston gets it. Mitchell is denied, but then Jordan Canada falls. Bree Jones almost gets it, but that's a second defender that's gone down, and Bree Jones.
Natasha Howard made her mark without needing the spotlight. Her hustle created second chances, snagging loose balls and tipping rebounds that should have been Atlanta's. Every extra possession kept Indiana alive. Meanwhile, Odyssey Sims brought a fearless edge. She attacked the lane, absorbed contact, and set the tone with 16 points and 8 assists. For someone joining mid-season, her impact showed adaptability and instant leadership. In a hostile arena, Sims' mix of grit and playmaking steadied the Fever when pressure peaked.
A complete skill set in all that she can do.
It's the first miss for Atlanta as Howard could not get it to go. Odyssey Sims, this is what head coach Stephanie White wants from Odyssey. Gray with 10 points so far. Sims dribbled right into trouble and was able to score and get fouled. Reiner posting up, setting a screen ultimately that Shea Penny ran into.
Anytime Atlanta needs a bucket, they look to her, and she's wanting the ball as well with the last 4 for Atlanta.
Set by major injuries all year long, are on the doorstep of making the semifinals.
Drop your thoughts in the comments. Hit like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss the next story.